Would I buy Ethereum in the bear market? Let's talk about that. Now, in my previous video, I talked about Bitcoin being the number one cryptocurrency in market cap in the world, and I gave Bitcoin a 10 out of 10. Absolutely, would I buy Bitcoin in the bear market? Is the answer for Ethereum 10 out of 10? I don't think I'm going to give anything other than Bitcoin a 10 out of 10. I would say with a great deal of confidence that I would have no problem buying Ethereum in the bear market, but it's a little bit complicated. And it's simply this: Bitcoin really just does not have any competitors, but Ethereum has a lot of competitors, a lot of different cryptocurrencies and different projects that have taken the brilliance, really, that went into the creation of the Ethereum network and built and adapted and improved on those things. So does that mean that Ethereum is going to be a relic? That's a very important question that we need to ask. So I really want to dive into that. And if you have not already subscribed to the channel, this is part 3 of a 1001 part series. You're going to want to stay tuned over the next year and a half. Like the video if you haven't as well, and leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your plans for buying Ethereum in the bear market. But I want to get into the complexities of this in a little bit. But the first thing I want to do is I want to review the questions that make my answer to this question a pretty simple one. And it's quite simply this: would I buy? Well, give me 1 second. Here we go. Let me open it up to the slideshow. So as it's loading, it's going to take a second here. Question number 1. Was this cryptocurrency created before or after April 14th of 2021? That was the day that Bitcoin peaked at $64,900. That was spring of 2021, was by all intents and purposes. It's very clear by many indicators that that was the cycle peak, even though Bitcoin and Ethereum put in slightly higher highs in the fall. Spring of 2021, April 14th, 2021 was Bitcoin's peak at $64,900. Ethereum was obviously created before April 14th of 2021. So we can move on to the next question. Question 2, if before, will the next cycle be the second, third, or fourth cycle for this cryptocurrency? For Ethereum, I believe it's the third. Or no, sorry, the next cycle is going to be the fourth. So next cycle will be the fourth. Question 3, if third or fourth, did the cryptocurrency put in a higher high and a higher low each progressive cycle? If yes, my answer to this question, will I buy Ethereum or any cryptocurrency that fits within this question, my answer is most likely yes. And if no, my answer is most likely no. So let's take a look at Ethereum then and pull up the all-time chart here, and we can see that, yeah, all right, so this will be Ethereum's third cycle. Forgive me for that. I missed that there, but this will be Ethereum's third cycle coming up. This third major euphoria phase, if we have, that's not a guarantee, but if we do have a euphoria phase, there will certainly be a new cycle, but it remains to be seen. Will there be a euphoria phase in that next cycle? So this will be Ethereum's third cycle. And they peaked at $1,396.42. Actually, it was a little higher than that in January of 2018. Now, did they peak higher? Did they put in a higher high? Yes, they did. Now, they bottomed out at a little over $100 in December of 2018, but were pretty flat. I mean, they had some nice rises there. You could have tripled your money, maybe a little bit, something like that. And then have they put in a higher low? Well, so far they have. I mean, we'll see what remains in this bear market, but as of right now, it seems likely to me that if you're watching this a year and a half from now or 2 years from now, that you will have seen that Ethereum put in a higher low, that it didn't go lower than $110. So if that's the case, let's assume that that's the case, then by that simple qualification, I would buy Ethereum in this bear market, and I would expect I do expect Ethereum to put in a higher high and a higher low next cycle. The cycle after that, that's when I'm going to start. I want to see what happens, next cycle, next time around. The cycle after that, that's when I'd start. If I were to make a decision now, I'd be it would be a little bit more questionable. And the big things that I really want to see, I want to see what happens with ETH 2.0. And so we have ETH 2.0, launch is expected in the third quarter of 2022. This is a huge deal. And the launch, I mean, Ethereum is notoriously slow with their launches. And so we'll see if this actually happens. I wouldn't be surprised if it was pushed back. And I would be a little bit surprised if ETH 2.0 never happened. But you're going to put a gun to my head. I think ETH 2.0 will happen. And so what's going to happen with ETH 2.0? Well, hopefully all of their problems will go away, because Ethereum has established itself as a platform where cryptocurrencies, where projects can build upon. And I think most of those projects will stick it out with Ethereum, but any new project that comes along, if ETH 2.0 doesn't launch, they'd be crazy, because there's so many better options out there. And so here's what's hopefully going to happen with ETH 2.0. One, all right, let's take a look at their supply. Their tokenomics are going to change pretty radically. So here's Ethereum supply from November of 2016 until today. And you can see, it was 85 million Ethereum tokens in existence, to now Ethereum coins, to now there's 120. You can see that it has slowed down significantly. In April of 2022, it was 120.58. And May of 2022, it's, end of May at least, it's 120.8. It might be 121 as of the day that I'm making this video. But this acceleration, this growth has slowed down. We can attribute that to EIP 1559, which has introduced a burning mechanism to every transaction so that the supply doesn't inflate as much. That is really good news. But the big thing with ETH 2.0 is that the supply, the amount, it's going from proof of work to proof of stake. And so the amount of Ethereum mined per day is going to be cut by 90%, which means I think that for a time, at least, Ethereum supply is going to start going down, and it's actually going to be deflationary, which means buying and holding Ethereum is going to be very exciting. From a tokenomics perspective, this can be very lucrative for you if ETH 2.0 launches. If it doesn't launch, it could still be lucrative. But if ETH 2.0 launches, some people have dubbed this the triple halvening. Now, there's some other things with ETH 2.0 that are very important to consider. There's going to be an introduction of sharding, which means that they're going to be able to process more transactions per second. Now, a lot of these other blockchains that are considered Ethereum competitors, one thing that they boast is that they're able to transaction, not even blockchains like Hedera Hashgraph, they claim that they can process tens of thousands of transactions per second. And Ethereum just can't do that. They're not fast enough yet. And so with ETH 2.0 will hopefully come an improvement in that, and so that's going to gain a lot of confidence with developers that I can hopefully build on Ethereum's platform and not have to worry so much about slow speeds and the next thing being how expensive it is. Ethereum has very much had a scalability problem at its hands. Try buying a Bored Ape or another NFT on OpenSea. I haven't bought an Ethereum NFT in a really long time, so I really don't know what the gas fees are, but I'm quite certain that they're still high. And we've seen gas fees over $100. I remember I bought an NFT for $30 and I paid more for gas fees. You get $30 worth of Ethereum. I paid more in gas fees than I did in actual Ethereum for the NFT. And for me to list that NFT, it would have cost way even more than what I paid in gas fees. Now, I'm quite certain that has gone down because of the simple fact that the price of Ethereum has gone down. But if we're going to see these new highs, we're going to see 5-figure Ethereum sometime in the future, then we're still going to have this problem with gas fees unless Ethereum launches ETH 2.0 and is able to resolve that. And so there are a lot of moving parts here with Ethereum, but when it boils down to it, Ethereum is, as far as I'm concerned, for the next cycle, Ethereum will be just fine. And the lower this goes, it's down about 80%, or its bottom was about 80% from its peak. The lower that Ethereum goes from here, the more interested I would be in buying it and loading up for the next cycle. Because will it put in a higher high? I gave Bitcoin about a 95% chance which might be scandalous to you. You mean there's a 5% chance that Bitcoin won't reach a higher high next cycle? Yeah, watch that video, and it has to do with the DXY. If people just go risk off between now and the halving coming up in 2028, then there's a good chance that Bitcoin wouldn't reach a higher high. But if the Fed, which I think is most likely to happen, if the Federal Reserve and central banks around the world start easing instead of tightening, right now they're in a process of tightening, which is driving prices all across the board down. But if they start easing, which I would assume is very likely to happen over the next 6 years, then we're going to see people very much willing to go risk on, and Ethereum will do very well. So would I buy Ethereum? I say a score of 9.5 out of 10. Yes, I would buy Ethereum. And even if ETH 2.0 launches, I am interested in buying Ethereum. But again, I do think ETH 2.0 will launch. I know that they call it something else now. I don't really care. It's ETH 2.0 to me. So yes, I plan on buying Ethereum, and I'm actually buying some right now. I'm buying some Bitcoin and some Ethereum, but as of this date, June 29th, 2022, I'm not buying anything else. That will come at a later date. So that is all I have for this video. Smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment in the comment section if you haven't, and I will see you in another video. Peace.